this is really the question, Kamal, that hopefully aligns with what you're saying is how do you balance big picture thinking with producing results? And it's the balance between vision and action. The like big picture thinking versus what are we going to do today and tomorrow? Now, I've used this a lot, but in Alice in Wonderland, there's a scene in the book or scene in the movie where Alice gets to a fork in the road. And then she asks the Cheshire Cat, like, which road should I take? And then he says, well, where are you trying to get to? And then she says, I don't know. And then he says, well, then any road will get you there. And I find humans, like the human being that we became, loves doing stuff. They just love doing stuff. They love doing stuff. They love doing stuff. But if you don't have a big picture why behind why you're doing it, then none of it makes a difference. So it's important, Kamal and others, to both set the big picture vision. Where do we want to be in 3 years? Where do we want to be in 5 years? How will we actually know if we're there? And then break it down into the individual steps and say, here's what we're going to do over the next 3 months, over the next 6 months, over the next 12 months. One of the tools that you can use is like a Gantt chart. So a Gantt chart will help you lay out all of the individual steps that you need to do with the timelines around it. You could use a balanced scorecard, which will help you track and measure the goals as well as the initiatives. But I think the big fallacy in strategic planning, there's a couple. One of the big ones is not having your vision be aligned with your action plan. So taking a step back, there's 3 levels of alignment when we look at creating a strategic plan. There's alignment at the leadership team level, making sure that everybody on the leadership team level is aligned around the vision. Are we all going to the same place? 2 is alignment with the strategy and the alignment with the strategy and the vision. Alignment with the leadership team, alignment with the vision and the strategy, and then alignment with the rest of the organization. Are we doing the things that are necessary to get us to where we want to go? So if you're having a gap, or if you're experiencing a gap, or if people are saying that there's a frustration between that, consider that there's not a clear pathway between where we want to go and how we're going to get there. And that can be because if you don't follow the right process in setting up your strategic plan, you're thinking too big picture and you're not thinking in terms of producing results. The other big challenge with strategic plans is that you might have a big picture thinking, and then you might have the actions, like the individual things, the tasks that you're going to do. But if you don't have the specific measurable goals, you guys are setting yourselves up for failure. So you might have strategic priorities, or you might have like conceptual goals, but if you can't measure it, you're going to be setting yourself up for failure because you've never actually set yourself up for success. If I say I want to lose weight, does losing weight mean 1 ounce or 1 pound, or does it mean losing 20 pounds? And similarly for your team, if you have different members of your team and one person thinks success is $10 million in revenue and another person thinks success is $5 million in revenue, you guys are playing very different games. And it's not that one goal is more or less valid than the other. It just means you need to realize that you have different objectives. So that goes back to the alignment. That goes back to making sure that you know what everybody's goals are so that you can manage the big picture thinking with the producing results, and making sure that strategic planning is actually a tool and not theory. And the last piece I'll say about tool and theory is that strategic planning and strategies are about choices. It's equally about what not to do as it is about what to do. And once you can really get good at choosing what you're not going to do, that's when strategic planning is really powerful. Because instead of trying to get 100 things done or 10 things done poorly, you get 4 things done really well, and then you move on. And that's when you can start seeing results. That's when people actually see the value in strategic planning, and when they also see that culture development.